right, guys, we are back. This is John.
Hey, it's Paul.
And it's Eric.
This is What If Geeks, and today is our official last Halloween episode of 2019. Do-do-do. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Can't do better horror music than that.
Right.
No. Every time we plug my phone in, it shorts something out, so fuck it. We'll figure something out later. We need a soundboard. That's what we need.
There we go.
Next investment. One of those little, no.
Right. Like, what's the guy, Jim Cramer, on that show?
I feel like we had this conversation before.
Yeah. That's exactly
bowl
what we
sounds
need.
and shit.
Yeah. Just random bells ringing and shit.
Yeah.
All right. So today we are recording. It's actually the 22nd, and we are going to release this one on the 29th of October because I will be out of town on a cruise with Disney celebrating Halloween with my wife and kid. So this last episode for Halloween 2019 is just basically kind of a roundup of the best of horror edition. So I figure like we can kind of throw up some throughout the year other versions of this list. So it's kind of why I did like the best of ... horror. We can come up with a better name for it some other time.
So we'll go through the subgenres and all that, and what we liked. And...
different. Like, so I came up with a bunch of random items or categories or whatever, and I emailed them out to you guys, and we all kind of sat down and did our own little list of shit, like the best of this, the best of that, whatever. So we just kind of go through them all and just see, where, kind of like a little peek into our minds, really. Which is something we don't need to do. All right.
Before we jump into it, you want to talk very quickly about Halloween Horror Nights since we went there?
Since we went, yes.
So, John and I went to Halloween Horror Nights last... What the hell was that?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, because the kids head off Friday.
Yeah, so we went basically 5 o'clock or 5:30, something. I don't remember what time we went over there. But,
yeah, it was pretty early.
And it stayed... Well, we didn't stay till closing.
You
I
guys
think
stayed
you guys
until
did.
11:30. We stayed until about when it closed. We were there until about 1:30. It closed at 2.
So we have done this last year, although not at the same time. We didn't go together. But I think this year it felt shittier. It felt lower quality on the horror houses. Horror houses. Horror.
Yeah, that's why I say houses. Horror and not horror.
Yeah. Horror. Not the horror. The horror houses. Okay. Yeah. So the houses didn't feel as good, and the waits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We were there 6 hours, and we had got 3 in at that point.
Yeah. So the very first one we did, we went to Ghostbusters because that was the new house, and we all wanted to see it. And it was getting decent reviews. So I had a disability pass where you kind of put in a wait time and they'd tell you to come back. So we all it was like an hour or more we had still, even though with the pass. So we left and we went over to Harry Potter because we had my daughter and we had Mika, my foreign exchange student, with us. And Mika's first time in the park at all. She's a big Harry Potter nut, so we were like, well, let's take her over there and check that out. And we took her on Gringotts, and you were walking her around to all the stores. Yeah. And she was just loving every minute of it. So then we'll go back over to Ghostbusters. I will say this much. When you walk in there, speaking of ghosts, that's very loud. Hi, Noah. Time for bed? Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to go to bed. It's okay.
No, suck at Uno.
Oh.
Suck at Uno? I hate Uno.
Yeah,
I'm with
I
you.
know. I get beat all the time.
High five me on that one.
All right. You want to say goodnight to everybody?
Mm-mm.
No? All right.
Taking that Uno loss hard.
Yeah.
All right. I love you. Good night.
Thoroughly dejected Noah.
Yet he's clapping while he's walking.
Yeah.
It's not all bad.
It's when you walk flat-footed. Wonder how that's going to come out in the sound later.
Yeah. I think we should amplify that section. It could be part of our horror sound. Since
there you go. Since the phone doesn't work, we just get random footprints or footsteps.
Right.
Yeah. Should we record a quick couple screams we can throw in there?
It's fucked up. So Ghostbusters, we go in, right? It's random. Because everything's got a chainsaw for no fucking reason. Stupid. Ghostbusters, you go in. You walk in, and when you get into the house, it's the library, right? So you see, New York Public Library, whatever. And you go around and you see the like the cards, the Dewey Decimal System cards are all out. Some of the books are moving. Well, okay, And you come around the other corner and you see. It's obvious it's a video screen, but it looks pretty good. It looks like you're looking down a hallway, and there's the floating librarian ghost, and she turns to you and and you walk by her. You're like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I didn't see if she actually made any kind of the move. I think she just
I don't
shushes.
think so. The only thing was that particular haunted house, the Ghostbusters. I hate to call it a haunted house because it's not really a haunted house.
It's literally you going.
It's a
almost
horror house.
Did you guys say you took your kids? Did you take the kids?
No,
we took
Okay.
we took Jesse and Mika, and then you took Becca.
Yeah, I mean, he took his older kids. The 20-something and the 17.
Yeah.
So we took last year. We took my brother-in-law's daughter. She's 13. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's not just the haunted houses. There's also scare zones all over the place. People chase you around with, chainsaws.
Yeah.
Or fucking jump
Yeah,
out
you
of,
can't
jump out
just
of the
go-
toilet at you. Or
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go from house to house. You gotta
Yeah.
walk through these scare zones. And we can get on them in a minute. But go through the Ghostbusters now.
Yeah, the
We'll do,
Ghostbusters. So the only thing it was disappointing. There was good reference there and everything, but almost
It was
all
the movie.
almost all the scares were the Ghostbusters, like walking out from behind a wall or through a door or whatever,
Or
just
it
saying
was
something.
the hellhound
actually-
would poke its head out.
Well, so there was a hellhound.
There was a few of them.
There was two, at least 2 times I remember seeing the Slimer pop out,
Yeah,
and there was
which
that.
is okay.
There was that. I don't know, dog lady thing that was. Remember when we walked through the? It's towards the end. It's played by an
Yes.
actual actor.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Well,
She just sort of
as you're going
stares at
through,
you.
you do see Louis Tully, right? He's all disheveled, and like he pokes his head out from this side thing, and it looks like it's just him for a second, and he's like, "I am the Keymaster," And then you step forward some more as you're walking, and behind him, like a good 15 feet behind him, up on the pedestal is the Dana character in her red dress, all slinky, laying on the pedestal. She gets up and stares at you. I was like, okay, you look pretty damn good,
Right.
So
Yeah, but a lot of it wasn't scares though.
no,
That's the only
it was
thing.
just
like-
because it was a horror comedy
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
They tried to play as close to the horror comedy as they could, and so the only, like you said, the scary parts were.
Yeah. It would be
And
like
that wasn't even really
Egon
scary
pop
because-
out at you and say, "Get him!" I don't know.
Yeah, they just kind of came off from the side like they were fighting ghosts, and they were like, "You're like, oh shit, somebody's there."
All actors or
Yeah.
Almost all
Yeah,
actors. Yeah.
like even like the hellhounds that would come out were people in suits.
There
like
was one robotic Slimer for sure that
Yeah.
popped out of the wall, and then there was one fake Ghostbuster, the one that was actually shooting Slimer with the whatever those guns are called.
The
but
proton pack.
Yeah, proton pack. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And then an actor came out next to the fake one and
Yeah,
said
yeah.
something
Said
as
something
a jump
about it.
scare.
Yeah, so there was a mannequin Ghostbuster, and then the other guy came out saying something. But then, like you said, then you see Gozer, the Destructor,
Gozer,
the
yeah.
girl with the bubbly tits. Well, yeah.
But it's
She's
weird.
up there.
She's like standing on a
She
stage.
stared
by
right
you.
at
Yeah.
me, and I was like,
She just stares at you. She doesn't really
Like,
say
yeah.
anything.
Well, like,
and it's
just-
it's a real actor.
yeah, it's a person standing there, but she's just eyeing me down as I'm going by, and I'm like, I'm not creeped out, honey. This is the most tension I've had in a week. So, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt that way too. In fact, there wasn't really anything that got me there. Although
Yeah, no.
I don't respond to jump scares most of the time
No.
anyway, because I know
Because throughout the entire thing, they would pretty much ignore Eric and I through every house and every land. They tried a couple times to get us, and we just laughed it off. They were going after the,
Yeah.
the 3 girls.
Yeah, I think
Like,
they're trained to
repeatedly.
go after people that, if they look like they're a little bit shifty, like they want to get away from you, then
Yeah.
they tell them to go after them, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So we had this problem with the 13-year-old that we took last year, and that's why we said never again, is because they were literally like chasing her. And 4 adults made a box around her, and they didn't give a shit.
Right.
And we were like, don't do it. Don't do it. And they would wait till we passed, and then they come up behind.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so she ended up walking like along the walls on the side of the scare zones to try to stay away from them. It just wasn't a good experience for her.
Yeah.
So I would never take anybody that young. That's the recommended minimum age that they tell you. You could take.
And there was a smaller kid there.
Yeah, there was.
Later, we found she was tiny. I was like, oh, but that was a Stranger Things house. But anyway, so we went. The first zone outside of the houses was Zombieland 2.
Yep.
And it was cool.
Yep.
Because you got the whole, you had all the zombies running around. You had the Humvee there with the number 3 on it, right? So they had it all set up. And there was even like a little stage area that had one of the, what do they call it? The mallet with the test your strength, right, thing sitting on it. It looked like it was part of the carnival that they were in the first one, right? Every 7 to 8 minutes, they ran a skit. A couple of the zombies would wander up onto that thing, and then Tallahassee shows up playing the banjo, and he fights the zombies, and then knocks one of them onto that little platform thing, and he's lip syncing to a voice over, because it's always the same exact words every time. Not that they can't have a script, but it just doesn't sound like a microphone headset, because he's not breathing at all when he's doing it. He goes, "What do you think, zombie kill of the week?" And then he slams a mallet on the thing, and the zombie lifts up and falls down next to it, kind of, whatever. And then he says something about trying to find Twinkies, and where are you spongy little bastards?
Right.
And he runs after him, runs away, whatever. So, and they do the same exact skit, like every 7 minutes. So it's like, it's what Universal does. They do a bunch of them like that. There's a whole bunch of them running around in there, all the zombies and everything.
Yep.
And then immediately after that is Rob Zombieland.
Yeah, so Rob Zombie got lucky this year, too, because he got not only a scare zone, but he also got a haunted house, House of 1,000 Corpses. You remember that?
Yeah. We didn't make it into that one.
No, we didn't.
I would have liked to, so maybe next year.
The Rob Zombie land was really interesting.
Weird.
It was like entering a BDSM club or something.
It was like entering a White Zombie video.
Really?
Yeah, because first thing you see a couple of guys kind of in like the biker spikes that you would see in one of his Dragula videos or whatever, right? And then you come in and there's a platform here with an electric chair, and some dude is like strapped in it, looking like a convict. And there's only the one that I saw there every time we walked by. So apparently she was really liking her job and didn't need a break. This scare actor was this blonde.
She's wearing like black leather. She's got a riding crop.
Yeah. Smacking the shit out of this chair, and then like every once in a while she'll fry this asshole, right? And she
just dances the rest of the time.
She dances around, looking good, and smacking the shit out of this dude in the chair, and then frying his ass. And then like after the third or fourth time she fries him, like the things pop open, and he comes running out of the chair, chasing people and scaring them. But there was a very tiny skirt on this chick.
Yeah.
So then you go further, and there's
two towers. They built 2 towers, left
big
and
wooden
right.
towers, and there's chicks in there, and they are this close to wearing like a fig leaf. I mean, they have these teeny tiny little leather, not even skirts, they're underwear kind of.
They're underwear mostly.
They're leather drawers and a little halter top thing, and they're grinding away up there. As we walked in there, I looked up, and your wife goes, "Well, we've lost John." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to get a drink, and I'll be right here."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck it, whatever."
Set up a chair.
Yeah.
Come get me when we're done.
Yep, that's it.
So, it was interesting anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, it was very interesting. It was just like, I didn't know what to make of it. Like, that you can see some of the other characters in, like, their big skull shit, the heavy metal type of stuff that you would expect at, like, a Gwar concert, kind of, that kind of, like, moving, like, one would look like a statue and he'd move, or whatever, that kind of shit. You would see those, but for the most part, it was more erotic than it was scary, So it was like, all right, whatever, cool. Keep on going.
And then other haunted house we did Depths of Fear, which was like, I don't know what it was. It was almost like a creature of the black lagoon meets Alien or something.
Yeah, some weird shit. I don't know.
It wasn't really very good, and the jump scares were awful, and it was more animatronic stuff, less actors.
It wasn't that great.
And there just wasn't. The theme was like not cohesive. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
There's a whole bunch of shit happening in a submarine type of or underwater station kind of thing.
I think it was an underwater station where an alien had either attacked or they captured it and it escaped or something. I wasn't even quite sure what the story was, but
something happened.
And then what was the other one we did? Did we do one more?
Yeti. We did the Yeti.
Oh, the Yeti.
Because Jesse wanted to do Yeti.
Which
and
was
that
also...
wasn't bad. It was an Arctic military station that was attacked by Yetis, and There's people shooting at the Yetis, and now there were Yetis all over that damn thing, though.
Yeah.
Like one of them dropped an arm through, and that was the only
Yeah,
time that
through the
almost got
ceiling.
me because I was turned around to say something to Mika, and I turned back around, and his hand came right down at my face, and he almost got me on that one because I was like, I saw his hand right up here, and I was like, oh, okay, here it comes.
So Jessie is sort of used to some of this horror stuff. She's seen horror movies. Mika's from a different country. What was she like losing her mind? Like they don't
Not
do this
necessarily
where she's
losing
from,
her
do
mind.
they?
I think she was scared.
She was flinching
in the
a lot.
house, and she was jumping a lot. But when we got out, she seemed like
She was like, I liked
yeah,
it. It was
that
fun.
was good.
But then, like, we would walk through, like, the scare zones, like, especially the Zombieland one. Every time we walked through one of those zombies, you'd be like, oof, you know, like, real close to her, like, Argh. And she'd flinch and, like, come around the other side of me or Eric, whatever. And I kept saying, I want you to remember, this was your idea, okay? And don't be writing back to your parents and be like, they're torturing me over here. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I got dead people running around the parks. I thought it was a nice place. But now, yeah, you say Jesse's used to this.
Yeah.
Here, you want this is what Jesse did the entire fucking time we went through any one of these things. One of these things would jump at her, and she'd look at it, smile, wave, and go hi. Right? Jessica's only self-defense mechanism is to almost shit herself and wave. So if there is any type of serious shit going on, just don't look to her for any help. I'm just telling you that right now. I mean, I already knew that, but this just confirmed it. She was just like, hi. She'd giggle and go, hi.
Right.
And that was it. That was the only, she trying to act like she wasn't scared. It was funny as hell. So yeah, we've been going on like 15 fucking minutes.
Wrapping it up before we waste too much time. I would go again. It was good the previous year. It was mediocre this year.
Yeah.
But the bigger problem with it, I thought that the haunted houses weren't so much the issue as the fucking wait times. If we can figure out a better night to go so that we're not waiting an hour and a half plus for each ride, that would be wonderful.
I thought it was going to be great because some parents would be having to go to work.
Yeah,
on
I
Friday.
thought so too.
I had that Friday off. We were like, sweet. But at one point in like the earlier to middle of the night, it was like, oh yeah, those parents were going to work, so they sent all their kids Ubered over to fucking. So it was like nothing but like teeny boppers running around fucking Universal. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna choke somebody.
Yeah, when I got a drink from the outside the last haunted house, or whatever, I asked that guy, and he's like, "Oh, this is the busiest night we've seen so far." I'm like, "God damn it!"
Yeah,
it's a Thursday night.
Right.
Yeah, so that fucked us. Next time, I'll just have to call in sick to work the next day. And
yeah, I mean, we didn't even have the pass advantage last year that you had, and we were able to get into more haunted houses.
Yeah, this was crazy. So even with that disability pass, it was like we only got to do 4 in like 6 or 7 hours we were there.
Yeah, it was 7 hours,
7 hours
for you guys. Yeah, we were there 6. So
we did go see
we got
the
3.
Academy of Villains show. That was cool.
Yeah.
So you can Google that, academyofvillains.com or some shit like that, whatever. But they're good. It was interesting. Just a horror show, whatever. All right. On to the best of.
Put a label on this. Jump 15 minutes ahead if you don't want to hear about Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. So not on the best of list. Universal's Halloween Horror Nights 2019. Mickey's Not So Scary beat you out this year. I'll let you know how the cruise does comparatively later. Right. All right, so the first one I want to roll through, we can just go kind of in order here. The best classic monster or movie. Let's see.
You want me to take that one? I'll take that one.
Sure, jump for it.
Well, I guess we're all going to take it.
Yeah.
For me,
that'll be used out of context later.
Yeah. Wait, what did I say?
We're all going to take it.
I'd say that's what she said, but I don't know.
Well,
so for me, best classic movie monster is definitely Dracula. But my favorite movie is not classic at all, really. It's 1993 Bram Stoker's Dracula.
okay, but still,
because he was like a crazy monster in that one. He ends up turning into that wild bat thing at the.
Yeah.
He was nutty. He lived for like centuries. It was like a much more drawn out story than a lot of previous ones. I like so many things about that movie. It's definitely my favorite Dracula movie there is.
So I also picked Dracula as my classic movie monster.
Is that what you have to, John?
No.
Okay.
But I went one further, and I went for the Nosferatu, the sort of creepy
the rat-looking
old
thing.
The old kind of rat bat, as my the German sort of silent film isn't super scary, but looking at that guy, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I think Stoker's a throwback to that. Though.
Yeah.
It is. That thing he turns into at the end of the...
Yeah.
That's very much Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So for me, I jumped off of the Universal monster type of thing because I figured that's what we were all going to do. So I just went with my favorite classic horror movie, and it's got to be The Exorcist. 77.
Does that count as classic?
Now it does.
Yeah, it was 25 years of the rule, right?
Yeah.
Hello, it's about to be 2020 there, Slick. Yeah.
Shit, so
Yeah.
everything we like is classic? What? This isn't fair. What am I going to do with the rest of my
It's like when
rights?
when 80s music shows up on the oldie station, right?
Yeah,
Like, shit.
yeah, exactly.
Well, for
That's
me,
exactly what
not
it
for
is.
you.
So The Exorcist. The Exorcist is the first one that really, really stuck with me and just scared the shit out of me.
So is she the monster?
Sure, we'll say the demon. Oh, what the hell is the
Her
demon?
possessed?
Yeah, but Reagan possessed by I forget. It's right on the tip of my tongue too. Whatever the hell he was, but yeah, that monster, Diazu, something. There you go. Come on, Captain Google. Yeah, just the little things, and I know it's going to probably come up in here later on because I got a few of them here, but just every little thing. The shit that poor actress Linda Blair had to do at that age was so fucked up, you know. But then, like, you had the little things, like when they do the uncut version and her going down the spider walk down the stairs or up the stairs, or whatever. It was fucked up. Yeah, no, I'm good. So
Pazuzu.
See. So yeah, so that fuck. He gave me nightmares forever. So all right, yeah. So that was that one. So all right, there you go. Dracula's got 2 votes there. That was nice. All right,
he deserves them, John.
Oh, he does. He's class.
I don't know where you're
he's
at.
the king
you
of the
saved
monsters.
that Exorcist for your supernatural.
Oh,
shit.
don't worry about it. It's coming. There's more. The Exorcist might be on this list a couple times. All right, so how about best horror remake? I think everybody
Did we
knows
just go out of
mine.
order?
Why are you going out of order?
Did we just go out of order?
Why are you
I don't
messing
know.
with
I'm
me,
just
John?
going on what I had written down. Here, you want me to go off of the...
Yeah.
Okay, best slasher movie. Yeah, that's
Slasher
right.
movie,
I did them all.
okay, all right.
Yeah, best slasher movie.
All right, I figured that everyone was going to take either Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. So
Woo!
I
Sorry.
went a little bit different, and I went Scream.
Okay.
And for the reason that it sort of
It was like a Scooby-Doo murder mystery.
kind of, but it was sort of knowledgeable about kind of the rules of horror movies,
Yeah.
right? And without being a spoof, it was like, you know, when never say I'll be right back because that means you're gonna go die.
Yeah.
Like
It was like one right turn away from being a spoof.
yes, it was close, but so that was it for me.
That's why John and I like Zombieland so much, though, right? Like having
Yeah.
the recognition finally
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
hey, you're in a horror movie, you're asked about to get killed. Even if they make jokes out of it, it's good. It's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what'd you take?
I went with a Nightmare on Elm
But
Street.
Nightmare or Friday the 13th are better, like actual slasher movies. But this, I was like, you're going to take that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally went with Nightmare on Elm Street,
I
1984.
did the same thing, and I was thinking probably the original deserves the title, but actually Dream Warriors was probably my favorite. The third
Dream
one.
Warriors was my favorite one, but yeah, as far as the actual scariest one was the original one to me, just because that was when they were going straight horror, none of the camp at all.
Yeah, and for me, Freddy is the best slasher, not just because the scary factor, but his dream entering shit and fucking people up. I should say neither, but several of the other slashers, right? They don't really have any of that going for them. This is just the lumbering guy that somehow ends up around the corner when you're 5 miles down the road. It's not really that fun. I don't do jump scares very well. I mean, not that I don't like them, I just don't get scared by them, which I'm sure John could attest to at Halloween Horror Nights when I was... there was a toilet that there was a dead body inside. And
Yeah, the porta potties.
spray at you or something, and somebody's like, oh, go over there. So I go over there and I open the door and I'm spraying water on people that are walking by, and then there's an actual actor in the next porta potty over, like dressed like a zombie, and she busts out
right behind his head, like, "Bleh!" And Eric's just standing there holding the other porta potty, looking at us like, like,
So even the startle reflex doesn't get you?
no, he almost
No,
yawned.
dude. I don't know why, but jump scares like never do shit for me anymore. I think I've just watched too many horror movies and I've had it too many times, and even on the haunted houses, like Becca hugs me the whole time and like lashes on me. I'm
Oh
like,
my god, she
I don't
clawed the
jump to
shit out of him.
anything.
It was great. It was fucking hilarious.
Sometimes things get me, and when they get me, I like them, but
Yeah.
it's really rare. I lost that reflex, and that's why I'm going to die one day. Because the car's going to come around a corner, and I'm just going to be like...
Not going to jump.
Be splattered all over the road. Look like the dolphin on The Boys.
Nice callback to
That's
episode. Insert episode number here. All right, so I apologize for actually going out of order. What I did was when I sent it to you guys, I retyped it in a better order.
Oh, got it.
To me, but then I was reading it off of my paper.
Well, we can try.
No, it's cool. It's all good. We'll go off of yours.
If I read from this distance, I think I can find it.
Best zombie movie, and we got. All right, so go ahead. Best zombie movie. Who didn't go first yet? Eric.
Eric went first. I went first.
first.
You go.
It's
you
your
go first.
turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Dawn of the Dead, 2004. I think
the remake. Oh,
yeah.
I feel like you're crossing up categories here. I was saving that for my remake stuff. All right, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
What's the zombie movie? God damn it, I'm playing footsie
stop
with
playing
you.
with my
again.
fucking cord.
Why is your cord hanging down there anyway?
All of those
That's
are what
she
she said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I'm overcompensating. No, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I think it's a really good remake, but I loved that one. I was gonna do it was a tie for me between that and Zombieland.
I of course did Zombieland because we already had this conversation in episode 3 of the Zombie Palooza. And I think at the time we both said, okay, Zombieland's probably going to be the best zombie movie
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't here for that. I went George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
Nice.
you went original.
Yeah.
That's classic.
That's classic, right?
Yeah.
It is definitely. It probably deserves the
I'm
title.
still looking for the 1990 remake.
Oh,
a good copy of it. I gotta go find it somewhere.
I mean, honestly, that gave birth to the genre and let all the others happen because everybody thought it would be a terrible, awful, nobody would like it, and then before you knew it, Romero had 6 fucking films. I guess he did that over 20 years, but yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So that's the original. So that's a good one. All right. So we'll do. Hello, my paper. Best haunting / ghost / supernatural movie.
Does it mean it's back to me now?
Sure. We'll go back to you.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So I'm going to fuck things up here, because I really want to say 2.
There's
I've got two.
I'm not going to tangent. I'm just
okay.
Whole body of shit I've watched in my whole life. I think Conjuring is probably one of my favorites right now. You guys watch that one? I mean, that's great, and it's part of a series that sort of launched off into all kinds of other things with the Annabelle, and so that's really cool. But if you would have asked me that question, say 10 years ago, when I was younger and I'd only seen a handful of stuff, I would have probably said 13 Ghosts.
That was a good one. That did scare me. I don't know if it holds up very well.
I don't know either.
Actually, for 3 years now, I've been meaning to go watch it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what I really wish they would do with that? I felt like they could have made that a franchise if they took those 13 fucked up ghosts and did storylines for each of them. You know,
that would
and
be
had
cool.
like a whole
Yeah.
story story for each, especially like the Jackal. Like some of them are really fucked up, man.
We've got streaming services now. Let's pitch this fucking thing. We might make. Hey, there you go. We all stop working and start working for ourselves. I don't know.
So, my first one is it scared me as a kid is Amityville Horror.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, definitely.
Yes. That was fucked up.
And then my second one was better than I thought it was going to be, and I remember seeing it in the theaters, and there being parts that I was like, not scared's not the right word, but so is Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
That in the movie theater,
it's scary.
Every time it got towards night in the movie, and they're going to camp, you're like, oh, what fucked up thing's going to happen now?
Yeah,
and that was was that the first mainline sort of found footage?
Yes. Everybody actually thought it was real. They thought,
and then everybody copied that, and it became an awful genre of films. To be honest,
which is actually, ironically, when they're done right, is one of my favorite genres.
Well, I'm not sure there are many that are.
There's only about 3. Cloverfield being one of them, that was done pretty well.
Yeah. That even branched out for a little bit into non-horror stuff. Wasn't there like a sci-fi movie that was like found footage? With some kid.
There's a handful of them. There was like, where they have superpowers.
Yes.
Yeah,
from touching a glowing rock or something.
That was a decent one too, because at least I had a vague reason for why the cameras were following around, because the kid was just holding them there. But anyway, that has always been one of my big things with found footage is, why are you still holding this fucking camera? Put it down and run. You know, so that. Anyway.
Well, then you should hate every slasher film ever.
Well, I know I should, but anyway, my best haunting ghost. Me, I go back to classic Poltergeist from '82. I just here.
I know that's a classic, but I think you have to have seen it then because it definitely does not hold up now. With the effects or anything. Everything is so fake looking.
Yeah,
it's like fuck. Did I just watch Birdemic?
It's not that bad.
I know it's not that bad.
Call back to 2 episodes ago.
Well, imagine though that you had just seen that for the first time last week when we watched Birdemic or whatever, and you're what would you say about that movie? Like, what the fuck was this made in like the 70s?
Fucking Tangina, her creepy little ass. This house is clean.
Yeah, whoa, that woman by herself is scary.
Not with you in it. But the side of that, I would have said another found footage, Paranormal Activity, the first one. Yeah, it got really stupid.
They had an alternate ending.
That's a mostly jump scare movie, isn't it?
It's little shit. Like you'll see, like it's really eerie shit, similar to like, okay, they're going to bed. What the fuck's going to happen? Because most of it happens like in that bedroom, and you'll see like the door creak shut. But too much to be wind, you know, and then you'll see like the sheet pull off the bed or shit like that, or they find like tracks.
You see something out of the corner of the screen, but then no jump scare happens. You're wanting it, you know what I mean? You're prepping for it, and it doesn't actually happen.
I know. I'm sorry. It's not. It's like Paranormal Activity 2 and 3 and 4 and 9.
Those are the ones that get into these. Yes,
where there's things in front of the camera. And,
that shit happens.
No, the first one was actually good. It's the only one of that whole series that is probably
and that was another one that was like what, a $10,000 budget, and they made like millions. It was ridiculous. So of course, you're gonna make more. But each one of them did that. I think that
might have taken the title of the highest profit.
Yeah, but each one of them did that. Like at least the next 3 of them did that. They only did a small budget, and then they ballooned in money until you got to like the marked ones or whatever the fuck, you know. I guess some of them started to like, oh, okay, all right, you done now? Because they started to. They had the first 3. They had a few decent background stories kind of going. Because even in the first one, from the very first one, she says that she and her sister like lived in a haunted house. And then you come to the spoiler alert for a Paranormal Activity series. You come to the second one, and it's actually at the sister's house, but it's like happening at the same time as the first one, at least for part of it, because it says like there's little like notes on the footage that says 3 weeks before Katie's disappearance or whatever, that kind of shit, right? And Mika 2 weeks before his death, and he's there visiting, whatever,
right?
And then it speeds up to being beyond the first one. And then it kind of like, then the third one shows those two as little girls, kind of to basically say like this demon has been haunting the two of them the whole time. But then it kind of goes off the rail, and I don't know what the fuck happened after that. But I guess some of them people like the other ones, but I just they lost me after that. All right, so moving on.
Were you Googling something, Paul?
Yeah,
out of the corner of my eye.
Captain Google.
I thought of something for another category of.
It wasn't what we were talking about.
No, it was not.
Oh.
Okay.
I just thought of something funny.
All right, let me know when you want to jump it in there.
Okay.
Best torture / body horror movie.
All right, so it's my turn to go first. This is a movie I saw when I was like 13 or 14 years old. It definitely screwed me up. They've made a remake of it, but it's called I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh.
Yes.
It's the original 1978 version. It is messed up.
Not only did they do a remake, that remake had sequels to it.
Yeah. It's a remake with a sequel. And it's the same essential plot. This woman gets violently assaulted, and she comes back, and not comes back from the dead, but just sort of, a little while later comes back, finds the people that did it, and tortures and kills them. But in the original version, she finds one of the guys, and she's jerking him off, and you don't see all of it, but she ends up cutting his dick off. And when I was a kid, I don't know, it just terrified me.
Lorena Bobbitt style?
Yeah, Lorena Bobbitt
As
style.
a kid, it terrifies me now.
Yeah, but that's when I saw it.
You're still scared of getting your dick chopped off?
Yeah, you know what? Well, I am a bit of an asshole, so it's always a potential threat.
Yeah. So that's mine.
All right. Oh, shit. All right, so mine, again, I had 2 here, but first, fuck it, I'll get rid of I was gonna say Saw, but I'm gonna save that one for another thing. Saw was fucked up, and the first one I thought it was kind of cool, but really the biggest body horror one for me. It also ties another category for later, but it's from 2009, Human Centipede.
Oh yeah,
That's messed up.
That's in my movie you only watch once because oy vey. I don't know where kind of. I guess they must have gone to the same school as the guys who made Birdemic because it's from the. Is this a good idea? Yeah, sure. School. So you got this doctor who decides he's going to make a human centipede by sewing 3 people together, ass to mouth, and he does, and he adjusts like their internal shit so that. Oh God, yeah. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, Eric.
yeah. It's
Okay.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't
It's-
know what else to say about it.
Just when he makes the guy in the front, because at any given point, which one of these is a good option for you? Which one do you want to be?
You got to be the front
You got to
guy.
be the front guy.
You got to be the front guy.
because
yeah.
otherwise you're tasting shit going down. Because he makes them eat.
Yeah.
Once he gets them so that they can crawl around, he makes them eat, and he's eating like dog food. And it's very shortly after that it goes right through his system and into the first girl, and then to the second girl, and then she fills up her little diaper thing.
Yep.
But and that doctor's happy, like it worked. But that part of it is like vomit inducing. Like you just see the look on the the first girl's face, like no, it's not gonna happen. Yes, it does. So yeah, it's just so fucking weird. Now I will go on to say, Human Centipede 2. Oof.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, don't bother. Basically, some dude gets the notes from that doctor, and like he's some he's a prison, not a prison guard, but like something, I don't know. But he gets like a whole bunch of people together and like ties them together. So it's like 15 of them that he does. But it's just a dude with the doctor's notes. So it's not like the first one where the doctor did like a surgery and everything. This is just fucked up. And then apparently there's a third one that's like, the final cut of the
Jesus Christ.
final sequence that I didn't watch.
And there's actually 100 this time.
No, yeah,
Is it
the
true?
only
Is it
scene,
true
the only
Human
scene,
Centipede?
the only scene you see from there is like it looks like it is a prison, and it's an overhead shot, and there's a couple of guards standing around with one guy in a lab coat, and there is like a chain of like almost 100 fucking people, all ass to mouth, and I'm like, again, obviously that many people thought this was a good idea, 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, that first one was like fucking. It was one of those like I had to watch it because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I watched it and I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That was my worst body horror one.
I had Hostel. I actually, this is the subgenre of horror I think I hate the most, honestly.
Yeah.
So Hostel to me was a little more like The Hills Have Eyes or something. It wasn't really like full on, I guess, torture. Well, it is, but I don't know. It just had more elements to it. That Human Centipede shit was terrible. I would never watch a movie like that. I actually hate the Saw series. I've already said this before, but I watched the first
I got a
couple.
kick out of them.
Never again. I don't
They
want
got really
anything to
bad
do
because they got convoluted to me. But after like the third one,
I mean, gore doesn't bother me, but that's all these movies are about anymore. Is just how ridiculous can we get with
yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I'd much rather see like a supernatural thing or something like that.
I want a real plot, not a mouths being sewn to assholes. I guess is what I don't want. But
nobody wants that.
But if you're gonna torture a couple of hot girls, hey, well.
That being said, this isn't on my list, but Hellraiser series.
I love Hellraiser.
I don't. Maybe you could call that body horror because he like flays the people and fucking cuts them up to make the Cenobites, and that I love. That I have no problem with. But that's not I mean, it is torture, but that's not really what it's about. There's a whole nother element to that movie, so.
Yeah.
Or movies, rather.
All right, moving on. Because you got to move on from Human Centipede. Oh Jesus! Best sci-fi horror movie. Is it me first?
I just did.
Yeah.
If I finished, that means he started. So that's your turn.
Yes.
Wait. Oh,
I started.
Can we
that one.
never say that again?
Can you record these? And
It's like we're a mini Human Centipede.
I was the middle shit eater on that one.
I was the first guy. That's what you want to be. Good for me.
All right, Eric, get ready for my shit. Here it comes. Sci-fi horror. To me, it'd be The Thing from '82. I had like 3 of them written here. I'm going with The Thing from '82. It fucked me up.
I struggle with this, and we definitely, I think we agreed.
Because
On
it could almost be a body
episode.
horror one.
We really like The Thing, but for me, I was thinking like, what one had the most impact, and this is more of a body of work thing, but Alien.
Yeah,
I had both those.
I would go with
Alien, the initial chest burst scene thing is like that's a movie moment for me. You know, I was like, I never saw that coming.
Yeah, because I was also going to jump in like with the putting more sci-fi into the horror would be like Predator or Cloverfield, something like that. You know, those are cool for that.
I mean, Alien is one of the few franchises though where I've seen every single movie and I've rewatched every single movie, even the ones people hate on like Prometheus. I've watched 3 times. I love them.
Sure. Paul?
I have
Alien.
The Thing.
You have
and
Alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally have
Sorry.
both of those.
Never mind.
Oh, that's the worst time to be at the end.
That's right. It's a good time.
You literally have our shit in your mouth now. That is that worked out
We're
metaphorically.
going to work it right back to the Human Centipede. Oh my god! All right, best horror comedy. And I've got like a shit ton.
Oh, it starts on me?
Yeah,
Zombieland, easy. I give this a Zombieland.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that outside of that one, I
have Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is a good one.
Yeah,
I had
Beetlejuice
Shaun
is
of the Dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
And then I had like Return of the Living Dead. I thought was kind of more comedy than the original Night of the Living Dead shit. But then like Abbott and Costello meet anything.
Insert here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like everything. I had them all written down, from like 41 through 53.
Holy
like,
shit!
Yeah, it was Hold That Ghost, and then it was meet Abbott and Costello, meet Frankenstein,
Meet the Mummy,
meet the Killer, meet the Mummy, meet the Invisible Man, meet Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde. There's a whole bunch of them in there.
Yeah,
and they were all classics. I remember just one line, because outside of them just running around, but I could distinctly remember one line out of them was Costello kept seeing and hearing shit. And he was scared shitless in this castle. And Abbott was like, just go in the room and go to sleep. And he comes back and he goes, all right, Abbott. But in the middle of the night, if you see a pair of pants flying through the air, don't grab them. And he goes, why? Because I'll be in them. And there's just something about that stuck with me. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. The other one, and I don't think they mean this to be funny, and it wasn't in the first one, but by the sequels of the Final Destination movies.
Oh
my god! Oh yeah.
The elaborate kind of death scenes where like it's like a Rube Goldberg machine where like a couple things start to happen and then eventually
3
somebody
dominoes
dies.
fall down into a marble and the marble goes to the chicken head and the chicken head falls over.
It's like they had to up themselves every movie, every time though, and it got like insane. Because the first one wasn't.
The first one's not funny.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
But by 3 or 4, the things that have to happen for the death scenes becomes almost funny.
Yeah, it became comical.
It was like 87 actions, and the character is somehow like.
And they're all watching it happen, right?
Yeah, looking around. It's and they know it's coming. Too.
It's one of those massive like domino
at this
things.
point, everybody knows,
and then the
gonna
knife hits
die.
them in the face.
Yeah. At this point, everybody knows they're going to die too, so they're watching for it.
Yeah. Death is coming,
but they're literally watching for it. Like, here it comes. Oh no, I don't want to die.
Yeah. My oldest son loves those movies. Yeah. Loves them. I get a kick out of them, but yeah, like you said, the first one was like, oh shit, this is an interesting concept.
Yeah. But by 3, you're like, come on.
Yeah. All right. Where the fuck am I? We did best horror. So yeah, we did the best horror. Remake.
Here, I'll do a throwback for you while you're looking for your thing. Paranormal Activity was the highest, most profitable horror movie that's ever been made.
Wow.
7,194% return on investment.
Holy
Wow.
shit! What were the numbers on it though?
It was only 107 million gross. So I mean, they spent
What did it take to
virtually
make it,
nothing. I don't know. I'd have to do the math because it doesn't actually say it on here.
Like $1 million.
No, less than that. Right?
No, they spent
700
like $10,000 on
It was
it.
72, 70. Oh, here, I'm sorry.
He's gonna just do the math on it.
All right, so who started
Well,
best? Eric started best horror comedy?
Yeah, so we got
yeah, sorry.
All right.
horror
Best
remake?
horror remake? It.
Yes, I agree. It. What you got, Eric?
So I was worried that we'd have. So I wrote multiple here.
It's
and I'm
okay
worried
if
that
we
have
all
some repetition.
if
But
we triple play it. And,
that's okay. I'm going to take one off the other part of my
Ow.
list and say The Fly,
okay.
Yeah.
because the 54 one wasn't really very scary or interesting. To be honest. Was it 54,
Vincent-
58?
yeah,
I don't
Vincent
know what
Price,
year it was.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Help me.
but the remake was great.
It was amazing.
I like
Button the
that.
Fly?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I had Dawn of the Dead on my list as well as one of the remakes. That's why I was giving you shit when you said it earlier about zombie movies.
Oh, sure. All right. Best foreign horror movie? It's me, huh? Yeah. Hi. It's me. It's Let the Right One In. Made in 2008. It's a vampire movie.
Did too.
I've mentioned this movie before. Yes, no? You have no... Eric's,
No, I feel like I watched this, but I don't.
Okay,
remember
well,
it
there's-
being foreign.
because they remade it, Let Me In was...
Oh no, the original was in Russian. I remember that. With the
It was
little,
Swedish.
Oh, was it Swedish?
Swedish.
The little girl that's outside in the cold. They're swinging
Yes.
on this. Okay, I did see the original.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Swedish. It's a fucked
Oh, I
up
had forgot
movie
about
about
that.
this little kid, Oscar. Oscar lives next door to this girl, and he slowly becomes friends with her, realizes she's a vampire.
Yeah, she's only out at night, like on the playground
she's
and
on the
stuff. That's the
playground,
only time
so
he ever sees her.
He goes to hang out with her, whatever, and like she's got this old man that she lives with. He's her caretaker, her familiar or whatever, not an animal, but he's like basically her caretaker, and gets her bodies and shit like that to eat, So there's this whole long thing in there, and there is a scene. I'm not going to spoil anything because essentially she falls in love with Oscar, and there's this whole scene there with the pool that's like, you got to watch this fucking movie. They remade it with what's her face, Chloe Grace Moretz,
Yep.
which is going to come
When
in later.
she was a little girl though. Then she must
Yeah,
have
this
been
is
11
years
or
ago.
12 when they did it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was because they remade it shortly. I mean, almost immediately because it was made in 2008. So like the next year or two, America scooped it up and was like, "We can do it too,"
Yeah.
and redid the same thing. And it went from Let the Right One In to Let Me In, and and it was good. So if you don't want to read the subtitles, and they cut a little bit of the European shit out of there, but they keep all the essential shit like the pool scene and whatever, like them falling for each other, kind of. So I would watch either one of them, but I really enjoyed that one. I forget how. I mean, obviously it was somewhere around 2008, shortly after it went to some type of streaming service or either Netflix or something. I remember seeing it. I think it was on probably Netflix way back when, but I rented it and it was good. I liked it a lot. Eric,
I had Pan's Labyrinth on here, which is a more recent
Nice.
one, but I don't watch a ton of foreign horror films because I hate watching subtitles.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I miss half the movie when I do that.
yeah, me too.
I have started recently though doing it. I watched that Dark series, which I have mentioned to you guys before.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
And then I started watching that new French series that's on Netflix. I forgot what the hell it's called now. In any case, I'll look it up in a minute. But yeah, before that, I really didn't watch a lot of foreign horror films, so it's kind of hard for me to pick one. But
I didn't have one. I Googled best foreign horror films, and I'm like, haven't seen it.
All right, well, that was easy. Oh, shit.
Paranormal Activity budget was $11,000. We're gonna
Wow.
keep coming back.
I wasn't far off.
So
yeah.
11,000 to 107 million. So it's insane.
Yep. Ta-da. All right. Best / scariest moment in a horror movie.
Is it me?
Eric.
It's me turn.
your
Okay,
turn.
so I had so many.
I got two again,
I didn't
'cause
know
I'm an
what
asshole.
to do with myself. So I have
Had
already.
so many children, she didn't know what to do. So glad you went there with me.
Right.
Because I've done this on a previous episode, I'm only going to mention it, and it's not going to be my one. But the Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, the cockroach, the girl lifting weights. Cockroach
yeah.
That freaked me the fuck out as a kid. Yeah. But I think what I'll give it to, just for classic stuff, is Shining Lady in the Bathtub.
Yes, that was almost on my list.
He's got that hot chick, and she's totally naked, and he's making out with her, and then her skin's
in the
fucking
mirror
sloughing off, and
Oh, okay. Thanks, Eric.
yeah. Well, this is what you have to look forward to in another 30 years.
Nice.
I'm just kidding, Heather. Don't hold that against me.
Wow. Oh, wow. Paul, now that he's insulted my wife.
Yeah. I've got various moments in Silence of the Lambs. Most things dealing with Hannibal Lecter. But what I wrote down was Agent Starling interviews Hannibal Lecter.
All right, yeah. For me, I had two of them on there. Unless you wanted to kind of keep on going your Hannibal Lecter.
We'll get into
You
this
looked
in a
like you
minute.
had something else you
There
wanted
are
to say,
so many good, scary moments in horror movies, which is the reason that we would even keep watching them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he mentions Hannibal Lecter. Dude, that scene where he is cut open the dude's brain in the newer one.
Yeah, and he's
Lecter,
feeding it to him?
And he's feeding it to him. He's cooking it up and feeding to him with a little bit of Chianti and some fava beans or whatever the fuck he said. Dude, there's so many good scenes in just that series of movies.
That one scene that didn't even have him in it when she's in the house looking for the girl, and Buffalo Bill's got the night vision goggles on, and he like brushes her hair. Fuck you.
That whole movie, though, and we'll get to this in the later, but that movie is scarier to me than a lot of the sort of slasher stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
because
sure.
there is no Freddy Krueger in real life. There's a Buffalo Bill out there right now.
That was based on a real serial killer, right?
Yeah,
I'm certain it was. I just don't remember the guy's name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll look it up while we're moving along.
Okay, I had two of them. One would be the killer video in the ring.
Yeah.
Just if you especially like when you go back and watch that whole fucking video, it's fucking creepy as hell, and it's unsettling. If you especially shut the lights out, just watch it, and then when it just ends and you get the little static, you're looking around please, for the love of God, if this phone rings, I'm gonna fucking cry.
Yeah.
Right. But the other one I had that was just. There were a couple of them within The Exorcist, but that crucifix stabbing scene where she's kind of, for lack of a better term, fuck me, whatever, and she's just going to town with this thing. She's stabbing herself in the junk. It was scary and fucking just gross at the same time to me, because again, I was younger when I was watching this. But you got this girl who's not supposed to be old enough for this type of behavior anyway, and then she's just stabbing herself in the vagina with a fucking crucifix. Wow. You just went 17 different levels of depravity here. Yeah. So that one really fucked me up.
Yeah, I can hear that.
All right. Here's one of my favorite ones. Best unintentional horror movie.
Oh, is this me? Yeah.
Yes.
Good, because I'll get to find out what the hell you wanted here.
Yeah.
I'll come up with something.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
High five.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I see where this is going.
The movie about how
people
Candymaker
die in some depraved way, and the candy maker's all fucked up, laughing about it. Is that where we're going?
Do you remember the boat ride?
Yeah.
With the videos of you see a roach crawling over some lady's head and a chicken's getting his head cut off or whatever. And then when you watch it as an adult and you look back again, remember I've said this before, every vehicle they get into has one less seat.
Yeah.
Which means he knew one of those fucking kids wasn't going to make it. Every time.
Yeah, I think that was the idea.
And when we did the Movies Explained Badly, right, it was Candy Maker sets out to kill community kids, something like that.
Yep. Eric, can you come up with one?
He played on their vices in order to eliminate them, right? Augustus is a glutton and can't keep his fat fingers out of the chocolate river, and he falls in and gets sucked through the thing, and the one girl can't stop eating gum, and so she gets the many flavored gum, and right? She ends up having to get squeezed, and like all of their sins end up being what ultimately you assume kills them.
Okay, that may actually be more challenging than I thought. Because this has to be a movie that isn't within the horror genre, but has some like horror aspects to it.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I'm gonna pass on this so I don't waste anybody's time. Sorry.
It's all right.
John needed you to fill time as he pours his drink.
What? John needs me to fill time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll read the next one. That's fine too.
Oh, what's yours?
Well,
Okay, that's why we high-fived. Okay, got it. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, that was a.
Next is all right. Next category. What a twist! Best plot twist in a horror movie.
Is it me?
John, it's you.
Oh, it's John.
Oh, it's me. Okay. All right. Best plot twist. Cabin in the Woods, 2012. Again, this is another one where I just started writing multiple ones down yesterday because I was hanging around bullshitting. But the first one was Cabin in the Woods. It was you watch this thing and you're thinking it's like a regular, okay, kids going to a cabin, blah blah blah, whatever, and then you find out that no, it's not at all that. Have you guys seen this movie?
Is this the one where there's a really uncomfortable assault scene in the woods?
No, that's Evil Dead.
Yeah, okay.
That's Evil Dead. Yeah,
That's not Evil Dead.
yeah.
Last House on the Left or something.
Yeah. Last House on the Left. That's the rape scene
okay,
in the
sorry.
woods. Yeah.
All
Have
right.
you guys seen Cabin in the Woods?
Maybe I haven't.
I don't think so.
Shit, then I don't want to ruin this for you. Oh, well.
Go for it.
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna ruin it. So, Chris Hemsworth is in this, and a couple other people you kind of seen before, right? But it looks like the typical kids go to the cabin in the woods, and you're like, okay, they're gonna get killed. Then it cuts to what looks like some type of boardroom or a lab, right? These people are at like panels and they're watching screens. These people are watching these kids. It's a whole group of like government workers that are watching these kids, and they're like, all right, what artifact are they gonna pick? Whatever. And like whatever the artifact is, like they've got a whole bet system going on what monster is gonna kill these kids. So it's kind of weird, right? So this whole thing where like the zombie family comes to kill them, and while the last two kids are running away, they wind up getting somehow into this government facility. It's like under the cabin, right? And it turns out that this government facility actually is sitting on top of some portal to hell, or some old demon god is down there, and they have to sacrifice the stereotypical horror movie people: the jock,
Right.
the stoner, the nerd, right?
The hot girl.
Yeah, the virgin, right? The slut. All of them, they have to be sacrificed once every couple of years in order to appease this god. And there's this whole thing, and like it's fucking ridiculous. But like there are nods to every horror slasher person that you can think of, between like a fog, like The Mist kind of thing. Is when they come down this elevator is coming past all of these little chambers. It looks like a superhero or a supervillain prison, and all these evil things are in it. And by whatever they pick up top, that's what gets released into the cabin to kill these kids.
Oh, funny.
So apparently, and basically, the government employees are like, they're taking a bet. They've got a pool, like a little betting pool of what's going to get picked, so that kind of shit. So weird. It's such a weird fucking movie, but it's so amazing. But the twist is, I totally ruined that fucking movie for you guys, but you still got to go watch it. It's great.
It sounds interesting.
So, good.
It's my turn for the twist.
Yep.
All right. So this is maybe loosely in the horror genre. It's also a psychological thriller, but Seven. And
Oh yeah.
specifically when they're out in the desert, and spoiler alert.
Yep.
What's in the box?
Yeah, Kevin Spacey has that van deliver a box out there. What's in the box? What's in the box? Morgan Freeman's like, don't fucking open the box.
Yep.
And he opens a box, and it's a wife's head. And
Yeah.
I never saw that shit coming.
Yeah, me either.
That stuck with me forever. Love that fucking
It was
movie.
so fucked up.
It's a great movie.
Side note to that one, Gwyneth Paltrow plays his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they made a very realistic looking Gwyneth Paltrow head for that box. And in another movie, Contagion or something like that, where she supposedly dies in this movie, that's when they reuse that head.
Is that right?
Later, because like she's supposed to be getting like an autopsy or whatever. So they used the head on that
funny.
movie. Yeah,
Funny.
Yeah.
I've got two. Psycho,
yeah.
where you assume that Norman Bates' mother's with us the whole time and find out she's been dead forever.
Yes.
And Friday the 13th.
The first one.
The first one. The very first one. When the killer turns out to be his mom.
Killer, mommy.
Yeah.
Killer. Which we learned, and we talked about recently, that's where the little everyone thinks it's but it's
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ha. See? It goes from the killer mommy. It's
That's right.
All right, well, I had a couple other ones since somebody wanted to go pee. One would have been an honorable mention to The Mist from 2007.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane. Spoiler alert, I guess. You get to the end of this thing, so all these monsters are coming out of the mist, right? And you can't get away from them. So Thomas Jane, his kid, and a handful of other people get in a car, and they drive away. And they run out of gas, or whatever. The battery dies, whatever the fuck happens, right? So now they're in this car, and they hear the siren song of whatever the hell one of those larger monsters is coming at them. So he looks down at the gun that he's got left, and he's only got like 5 rounds of the 6 people in the car. So he decides he's going to kill everybody except for himself. So he starts with his kid, or whatever. Yeah, I think he starts with his kid. So he kills his own kid to save him from the monsters, right? And kills everybody else, and then he plays it really well. Thomas Jane plays it really well. Like, he is totally brokenhearted in this fucking movie, and he keeps putting the gun in his mouth and trying to pull the trigger, and nothing's happening. And he gets out of the vehicle to get killed by the monsters, and as he stands there, the fog clears a little bit, the mist clears just a little bit, and the fucking American government is coming rolling through with, like, sound horns making the same sound. And, like, so it looks like they've cleared out the monsters and they're killing everything.
Yep.
And so they would have been perfectly fine. That ending fucked me up so bad. And even Stephen King came back and said that it was a better ending than the one in his book, where the one in his book was just kind of ambiguous, like they drive off into the fog and that's it. He's like, that ending fucked me up even more than my book. So. Yeah, so I like that one. And the other honorable mention I had on that one would be from 2001 was The Others. So Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Right. So she lives in this mansion, and she's talking about like her kids have some type of rare genetic disease where they're allergic to like sunlight.
Right.
So that all the windows always got to be shut, and she's got a caretaker with her, right? And they're waiting for her husband to come home, or whatever, blah blah blah. And they keep hearing noises, so there's ghosts in the house or whatever. Well, you get to the end of this movie, and spoiler alert for this one, this is really good. Yeah. Sorry, I know, this is the part where we have to do the spoiler. Nicole Kidman and the kids are the ones that are dead the whole time. And I think like the caretakers that are there with them are also dead. Yeah. But it's like when they see the father come back from war or whatever, he's like, either he had died and he came back and found them, but the ghosts that they hear are people in the house. Right. And so it's kind of like almost like a Beetlejuice thing, but not. It's like it's straight horror movie, like where they're constantly scared and running for their lives, and it turns out that it's them the whole time. They're the ghosts. So yeah. All right, that was What a Twist.
What a twist!
I love that. Thank you, Robot Chicken. All right, best Scream Queen or Final Girl? Is that me? I forgot the order. Somebody went up to pee and I forgot. Yeah. Fuck it. I'll go. Okay. All right. So again, I'm going to go.
Now I think did you start this one?
Yeah, you started the last one.
I started the twist with 7, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one's me. All right. I took Nev Campbell and Drew Barrymore from Scream.
Nice.
Run up my
Not
second.
for Scream Queen.
Yeah.
My second is Janet Leigh from Psycho.
Nice.
Janet Leigh from Psycho's good,
yeah. I didn't want to go classic because I thought you guys would straight go classic, which you kind of did. So just for the amount of movies that I've seen her in that are different or different horror movies, I went with Chloe Grace Moretz, right? Because she started out in Amityville Horror. Right? She was in like one of the newer ones or whatever. And then she was in a movie called Wicked Little Things. Then she did the Carrie remake. She did Let Me In. And she was in Suspiria. So she's got a whole... And I think she's got like another one coming out pretty soon. But there's like a whole bunch of little horror movies that I've seen her in that I'm like... Yeah, you know... the ones that stand out are like Carrie, Amityville Horror, Let Me In. I like those, you know. So that was for me. I was trying to go for something other than. I didn't want to say Jamie Lee Curtis, you know. But good.
All right, so I think you're leaving me with only two options because you guys like to steal.
Really? I was going to say Chloe. I thought I was going out of left field with that one. But
All
go
right,
ahead.
so I'll say first, Sarah Michelle Gellar. She did Grudge,
Yes. Yeah.
but also the whole Buffy series. You can count that, right?
Yeah, we'll count that. Yeah.
My
She
other
died
one,
in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, and my other one was going to also be from I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is not really that good of a flick, but I just love her anyway. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I was going to
Yeah.
She was going to be one of mine. Yeah.
I can at least give you two reasons why.
Yeah, me too. I'm two big fans.
On top of all that, I mean, she's an attractive woman besides her two assets that she's most known for. But she's just a very attractive woman. So she did those movies really well. For a movie that jumped on the whole like quick little slasher like Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer. You know, something whatever. Fucking blah blah blah. There was a bunch of them that seemed to come out. Urban Legend. They were like all jumping out at once, right? That one was decent. Yeah, it wasn't a horrible movie. It was okay, but she did a really good job with it for someone coming like straight out of like Party of Five or whatever the fuck she was in, and then coming onto the movie scene. I thought she did good. Yeah, I'd back that one up. That would be used out of context too.
Back that ass up.
Back that one up. Sorry, Jennifer. Horror movie you only watched once because it fucked you up that much. We already said mine, Human Centipede.
Yeah.
But then I went and watched the second one like a fucking moron. I'm like, go ahead. And I'm going to watch the third one at some point because I'm an idiot.
Oh, does that mean it's me?
Sure.
What I wrote here was there's really no such thing, but I hate the body horror movies, so I've seen them all only once if I've watched them.
Okay.
The Saws, the
That's an entire
Human
genre.
Centipede, even the Hostel, which I kind of liked. I haven't watched again.
I don't rewatch a ton of movies. There's Star Wars I've seen a bunch of times, but Silence of the Lambs scared me enough that I haven't wanted to watch it again. I just didn't want to go through that. But all the Rob Zombie movies fall into this sort of body horror. But specifically that guy, and he recently passed, so shout out Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, that sort of super messed up clown, whatever he is. He's in A House of a Thousand Corpses. He's in
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, the Devil's Rejects. Yeah. So those I won't watch again.
Nice. Yeah. All right, cool.
So this is a category I had a question of. Because I didn't understand what horror flop was.
The biggest horror flop?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Where the fuck is mine?
I'll play a fun game. I'll tell you what I wrote here without knowing, and you can tell them what you wrote without knowing. So I had two thoughts here. Either it was like a shit awful movie, and then the first thing that came to my head was that fucking Birdemic shit you made us watch. Okay, or it was actually
so very welcome.
Or it was actually
you say that, but you know damn well we're going to do another one. So
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Hopefully, it can be slightly better than that, though.
I hope so.
I want to pick apart something better than they use PowerPoint to make this movie.
Well, we're getting into the Christmas shit anyway, so we're going to do Star Wars and
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
My friend wants us to do Saving Christmas, that Kirk Cameron movie. Sure. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kind of game for it just because fuck it.
So the other thought in my head was horror movie that flopped in the box office but was actually really good.
Yeah, I researched a couple of them like that.
And so number one on my list for that is Frailty. You guys ever see that? It had Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
And Bill Paxton was the dad, and he had two kids, and he was basically murdering people that he thought were demons or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a fucking great movie. It had an awful box office showing. It never shows up on TV hardly at all anymore. It's a really, really good. I mean, it's slight horror. It's like psychological thriller, and it's got these weird elements of demon possession, and you almost believe this guy is doing the work of God.
Yeah, for this one, I would have gone with either one of those because I was kind of torn between the two of them when I was doing my research. But I went the first route with god-awful movies.
Yeah.
And it was one of the runner-ups for what we were going to watch if we didn't watch Birdemic, and it was Trolls 2 from 1990. That is a horrible fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's Trolls 2, meaning it's a sequel to Trolls. It doesn't have a fucking troll in it. It's goblins. So, really? Anyway. So, go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
I have a question mark because I didn't understand.
Okay.
I'll throw one in.
He'll say Birdemic.
Not for Paul, because I don't want to do that. But I had another one that flopped in the box office, and I really liked. It was another slight horror, slight psychological thriller, but this one was also sci-fi. Event Horizon, you guys see that?
Yes, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You should watch that.
Yep.
Yeah, you like it.
That's worth watching for sure.
Yep. All right. The last couple here we got creepiest trailer. Is that me first? Who the fuck is going for half? Fuck it.
I started that one, but I think it was out of turn. But Paul can go
That's
next.
fine. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Nice. I had two there. I had The Exorcist, obviously, because the whole fucking movie scares me from trailer all the way to end.
Yeah.
But the other one I had was The Conjuring. The first Conjuring trailer, just what was a little like the clapping that would happen, and that stupid shit. Fuck no. Like when they show them playing hide and seek, and they're like, first clap, and the kids go, and then like she goes toward that the wardrobe closet because you see the hands clap.
Yeah.
And she goes over there, and then that kid bounces out like, you didn't find me, and she's like, I swear the fucking God, you just clapped from in here. And then they do the clap later. No, fuck you. This whole trailer fucked me up. Well, all right, Eric.
This is tough. This is one of the ones I didn't get to before, and I'm trying to think of an idea now. But I think maybe the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I had.
That was the
almost
first
on my
time
list.
you had the sort of slasher with the chainsaw, and he busts through the door, and like you really aren't expecting it. So yeah, I'll give it to that one.
Oh, one of the creepiest scenes ever too is when dude is in the house and fucking the first time you really see Leatherface when he yanks that fucking door open and cracks him in the head with that hammer and his feet just drum on the floor. No. I had one more on there was the Babadook. That trailer kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, that's in a similar vein to Grudge or whatever though. It's a lot of that spooky face, dark.
Yeah.
Darkness
Really
around
weird
it.
shit.
You're not sure what the hell is going on.
All right. So, and I've got, because we all know how much I love Halloween, I got a bunch for this last one. So finally, the last category would be movie you absolutely have to watch every Halloween season. I can throw one out there.
I don't really have one.
Yeah,
you don't have one?
I like Paul. Don't rewatch stuff. Well, with a few exceptions, don't rewatch stuff excessively. So I really don't have one that I must watch. But having mentioned Event Horizon a minute ago, I really want to go back home and watch it tonight, I think.
See, damn it. I got to go to work, so I'm not going to be doing that. I'll watch it during the weekend. Now, for me, it's really the main four. Sometime in the Halloween season, I got to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I got to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, the original one, and then Halloween, the first one. And then I throw in like the fifth one just because it's fun. And, I know people, it doesn't really hold up very well in time, but it's the only time I ever found Sarah Jessica Parker hot is Hocus Pocus. I'll watch that one because it's funny and she looks really good in that little witch's dress. So yeah. So that's it.
I know AMC's running a marathon of horror movies, but they cut them all out, and it's just not worth doing.
Yeah.
And they do that every year. Like they'll run, like they ran all the Friday the 13th in a row. I'm like, why would I watch them on AMC when you're going to cut all the stuff out?
Yeah, it's not worth it. But they do.
There's quite a few things on Netflix this year running for their
Netflix and Chills.
Netflix and Chills.
Yeah, Chills instead of Netflix and Chill. But yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff on there. In fact, you dropped an article on it.
I did, but I didn't list all the old classic horror films that they threw on there.
No,
There's
we
quite
went
few.
through a little bit of we briefly went through some of them, remember? We were talking about them at some point.
I remember going through a lot of the new stuff and the series. And,
Yeah, but we didn't go through everything.
yeah,
just
we
kinda
didn't go
like-
through all the classic films and stuff that they put on
I
there.
think
Which
that
there's,
was-
there's quite a bit of.
That was one of the times you decided you were too good to hang out with us and you were busy working.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with something to do together. So we came up with that. We like ran through a whole bunch of random shit that was out in the news. But yeah, so Netflix, you can check out all kinds of cool shit on there. If you got Amazon Prime, there's a whole bunch of cool shit on there.
Hulu's got their Halloween thing too.
Yeah.
But there's
Halloween,
not a
yeah.
ton of stuff on there, to be honest.
No.
And then, everybody and their mother on Facebook has been telling me go with that Shudder.
Yeah, you know what? Because they just dropped Creep Show.
Mm-hmm.
That series, I want to see that. I think I'm gonna piss my wife off and download this damn Shudder thing. Get the app. It's not an app. It's a website.
It's a website, I think.
Yeah. So
I haven't even actually.
I know we have.
used it,
We
so I don't know.
There you go. We've done no research on this. So if any of you
Sorry,
have any
folks.
research
if
on
you recommended
Shudder,
it, we're listening. We're just slow.
Yeah.
well, ask my wife. She knows. Not that way.
Yeah, I don't think that's what she told me.
Yeah. She's like, Jesus, will you ever get done? Anyway. So anyway, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of cool shit out there that you can watch. And there was something else I was going to pop in there and say, but I fucking forgot it. Anyway. Oh well.
Was it
Cool.
Tubi?
Tubi. Yeah, you can get on Tubi. TUBI. It's a random streaming service I got on my shit. But
There's a lot of
You're
horror
gonna find-
movies, a lot of old horror
there's
movies.
a
There's
lot of old school shit on there. So yeah, yeah, there was a random something that I was going to throw in here too about what to watch. But I was going to ask you. Remember we were talking about Walking Dead?
Uh-huh.
'Cause Walking Dead is now 3 weeks into this season.
Yeah.
Have you tried to catch up with it? 'Cause we debated on maybe
No.
because he watched it for a while and I watched it every year. He debated maybe he'll catch up with it and we can do.
I will at some point.
a second weekly episode where we kind of break down.
At
just
this
Walking
point,
Dead.
it's probably going to take 2 months because
we'll be.
I got to watch Watchmen, which just came
Yeah.
out, and then
So maybe next year we'll
Next
do
Halloween.
a Walking Dead. Yeah, next Halloween we'll
Yeah.
do a Walking Dead.
in a few weeks we got the Disney Plus
Review.
streaming, and
Yeah.
you're not going to see me for 5 days when that
No
opens
shit.
up.
Well, The Walking Dead, to catch everybody up, is doing pretty good. It's not bad at all. They're digging deep into the Whisperer thing now, so it's going to be interesting. But I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. But hell, they got 2 shows. They got a third one coming. They got movies coming. The AMC's going all in on that. So, all right, I think that's again another over an hour of us bullshitting about dumb shit. Why are you still here? I don't know, but thank you for being here. We're glad you decided to spend some time with us. Let us know. Pop on our website or on Facebook and let us know some of these categories. What you think? Maybe we can convince Eric to throw some of these things up there and write down what we said. You can kind of join in and let us know what you think some of the best of horror is. Hit us up, whatifgeeks.com, whatifgeeks@gmail.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Send a bat, something. And that's it. So hopefully all you guys have a very happy Halloween. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Good night, Ma.